Hello and welcome to the Beausejour Senior Hockey League podcast. We have a little special edition today. I'm joined by my guest today, Parker Deighan of the Springhill Coal Miners.
Hey there, Corey. How you doing today, man?
Man, this came together really quick. You messaged me last night, and it's currently Thursday morning, and we're doing it. So,
I to be quite honest, I didn't really think I'd get on the podcast that quickly, but I thought, you've been doing such a great job with promoting the league and being really on top of things and helping getting fans to the rink and stuff like that. So I thought, you deserved it, and thought, if there's anybody I want to break some news with, it was you. I know we just met each other a couple of weeks ago in Bucktouche and had a chat and stuff, and I'm definitely excited to break some news on the pod.
man, I'm excited. I'm truly, it's an honor, and I appreciate you doing it. So, you got something to announce? Go ahead, brother.
Okay, well, I guess in short, there'll be lots of kind of news to come, but there's been a change in management or ownership, or however you kind of want to word it, with Springhill. Myself and two other partners are going to be taking over the team. Kind of all hockey minds and people really excited to take the team in the right direction. The two other guys have played junior in Amherst. They're former Ramblers, and one of them played for the Cumberland Blues for a year as well. So they got deep roots in the community and really care about Springhill and Amherst. And obviously myself, fell in love with Springhill and the fans, and over the last number of years coming back into senior hockey. But Tieran and Dave Boyce were the owners, so there were two guys that I guess their passion and love was kind of more focused on the production side of things and wrestling and kind of different avenues. And whenever they got the team, the idea is probably a lot of people know, or maybe they don't know, that it was a production crew through SwearNet, kind of the same group that produces all the Trailer Park Boys, to do kind of a mockumentary or a mock series, kind of I don't really even know yet. It hasn't come out live, but that's kind of what the plan. So, they're really focused on that for the first year, and bringing in players and making the team better. But this year, whenever they kind of decided it wasn't going to be filled, and again, it was they kind of quickly realized that they weren't hockey minds, and they weren't really up, I guess, for the task of maintaining, and also building a team that can last in the community and last in this league or any league kind of that might come forward in the future. So on Saturday night, I guess, we kind of had a conversation, and they'd known I've been interested. I'm, I guess, an entrepreneur myself. So I was kind of interested in the idea of, with my history playing senior in Newfoundland for 3 years, and playing on many different teams and seeing how they operate. I feel like I was somebody that could take on potentially some debt, as well as work towards recovering that and building even stronger with a better image and a strong presence in Springhill, where now they don't have the junior B team. So, I think it's even more important that we are a staple in the community and something that people can look forward to seeing every weekend or every other weekend for the hockey season. So I guess in short, it's, there is going to be, change in management and change in ownership, but nothing, for the on ice or anything off ice is going to change for this year. I think moving into the next season, we do have lots of plans and ideas, and to bring in more fan engagement, kind of have it more of a show during the game, have in-game announcers, Timbits, player, seventh man, just run it like you see a lot of the other successful organizations, like with Trey, with Elsie and Miramichi, obviously, fill in the barn, and it's a show, right? It's, at the end of the day, you want to sell tickets, it needs to be more than just hockey. It needs to be entertainment as well. So I'm sure we'll get into that as the years roll along, but in short, it's got three new owners in Springhill. So
Congratulations. Very exciting news to hear that the Springhill Coal Miners are going to be owned by people that are very interested in keeping the team in Springhill and investing in senior hockey in the BSHL or whatever comes in the future. Let's get a little bit into your history, Parker, for people that don't really know you. You're from Halifax?
I'm an Islander, so I'm
Okay.
from PEI.
All right.
I was born and raised in Kensington,
Okay.
PEI. So just a small town. I actually grew up outside of Kensington in a smaller community called Emerald. Farm community. My grandfather was a farmer. My dad was a farmer. We sold the farm when I was about 18, and then I grew up small town PEI. So yeah.
You played all your minor hockey in PEI, and then at a pretty young age, you went to the Notre Dame Hounds in Saskatchewan, right?
Yes, yeah. I went out there. Fortunate enough, I was a kind of an Andrews hockey kid, and was luckily kind of excelled as a young boy, and was I guess offered an opportunity to go to private school or prep school or whatever you want to call it up in Saskatchewan at Notre Dame. In PEI anyway, so it was always kind of an allure because Brad Richards went there, right? So he was kind of the legend growing up for me. Like it's, I went to see the Cup when he brought it home for Tampa Bay, and he went out there. So at the time, actually, Chris Doyle, who actually plays for Shippagan now. So I grew up playing minor hockey and everything with and against him, and then another guy, Logan McMillan, who's first rounder to Anaheim, played for the Mooseheads for years. We all went out there together. Played 2 years at Notre Dame. It was quite a wake up call for a mama's boy, country boy from Kensington, PEI, to be out in Saskatchewan all on my lonesome. But it was awesome. It's obviously, if you looked and saw who some of the guys were on my team in Bantam. It was we smashed every team. It was a good year. But Jordan Eberle and Zach Ronaldo were my roommates in grade 9 in the dorms, and they obviously turned out to be decent hockey players. So
yeah, they're doing okay for themselves.
Yeah, they're doing okay. They're doing okay. I'd love to get Zach to come down and play in this league. I think he's retired now, but he'd be
dream big.
He'd be a show, wouldn't he? Tough bastard.
You were drafted by the Rocket in PEI?
I was, yeah. I played, so yeah, I did 9, 10 out there, and then I came back in grade 11 and played for the Capitals, Summerside, my home team, my hometown team, and had a good year as a 16-year-old. I got noticed, I guess, as kind of I was an overager, I believe is how it worked, and went and played for the PEI Rocket for a year, and just didn't really work out. It was under different ownership than it is now, and I'm sure people are, I've heard stories about the old Serge Savard PEI Rockets. It was, I'll just leave it at that. It was an interesting time, and I had just a better opportunity to go back to Summerside, where we went on to win 2 league championships and Fred Page Cup over the next 4 years when I went back. So it ended up working out all right. I would have loved to kind of stick around in the queue a bit longer, but it just wasn't in the cards at the time.
Then you went and played some senior, and that's kind of where you fell in love with senior hockey. You played a year for the Western Royals in Deer Lake, and then you played a few years in Clarenville, right?
Yeah, so I played one, and then I ended up going to play at SMU. And was over here in Halifax, and kind of coming on the end of my time there. I had a good friend, Chad Earl, who played for the Mooseheads as well. He's a newfie and played junior with them. We're still good friends to this day, and he played for the Western Royals in Deer Lake, and said they were looking for a defenseman. And back then, it was they were paying pretty well, and it was the kind of the heyday of senior hockey in Newfoundland, I'd say, during that time, where Clarenville won an Allen Cup the year before I went over, and it was all the buzz was the Herder Cup over there is obviously huge.
Yeah.
And then they were sending a team to the Allen Cup almost every year there. So yeah, I went over there, played for a year with Western, and then they actually ended up folding the next year. So or they ended up taking a year off and then moved. There's always, politics in any type of hockey. I can't remember the exact reason, but then I ended up getting picked up by Clarenville. So I played in Clarenville for 2 years, which one of the years it doesn't show online for some reason. I don't really know why, but and then the way it would work over there is, at that time anyway, is if you won the league the year before, then you went to the Allen Cup the following year, right?
Okay.
So it would give you a full year to do fundraising and kind of plan out, your roster, and just give you more time for planning and stuff, right? So then Grand Falls was able to pick up 6 or 8 players within the league to kind of beef up the team a bit, and I was always lucky enough to get picked up. I played in 2 Allen Cups and won one of them in Bucktouche with the Cataracts. So, but that was my senior, and I guess going over there, after long junior career and university, just how competitive it is with players coming in and out each year. It's stressful, and you start to kind of just get worn down more than anything. It's not that you don't love the game anymore; it's just you're tired. And I went over to Newfoundland, and it just like changed everything. I was fell back in love with hockey. Love the boys, and all the kind of stuff that comes along with senior hockey in the way that it should be. And I guess that comes back to, I know we were talking just briefly a little bit about, senior hockey in Nova Scotia. The Springhill's the only team in Nova Scotia, which, quite frankly, I've talked to Hockey Nova Scotia a ton, and I find it crazy that, in Canada, of all places, we're supposed to be the hockey nation, that for most people, once you finish junior, you're done, right? Like you're off to rec hockey, or you're off to beer leagues, and I just, especially around Nova Scotia, obviously that's where I'm at now, but I'm still in PEI probably almost every week or every other week with one of my other businesses, and there's tons of guys floating around like they're bored. Like,
Yeah.
It's like there's no reason that they shouldn't be. They're still in shape. They still want to play. They still got the love for it, and they're just rotting away in a rec league. So my vision, I guess, with being able to kind of come on here is to help grow the game, the senior game, and all of the Maritimes, especially the league that we're in, and make it better, bigger, and stronger. And I think, especially with the way Junior A is going, I've been to a couple games this year. It's a lot different hockey than senior, obviously, right? And I think fans, especially in the Maritimes, we're blue collar. Like, even if you're a white collar guy, you're still blue collar at heart, or your parents were, or your uncles are, and you want to go to a hockey game and see hits, and good hockey, but you want to see hits and fights and hockey.
Yeah.
That's what makes hockey so unique compared to any other sport, is that it is rough. It's a rough sport, and that's the way it's supposed to be played. So, focusing on that type of product and bringing it back for young men that are, with all the different issues going on in the world, and depression and anxiety, I think, senior hockey can be a great avenue for people in these small communities. So.
Yeah, and I mean, for young guys that don't have anywhere to play, it's a great spot to go. And for the communities that it's in, it seems like senior hockey's in those small towns, there's not a ton else to do. And it really brings the community together. I mean, senior hockey's affordable, $10. Shit. Throw $10 and you get 3 hours of really good entertainment, and you get to chat with some people you don't get to see otherwise. You can't ask for better.
100%. Yeah, it's a social thing at the end of the day too, right? It's getting out in your community, and like me going nuts during COVID. I'm kind of a social guy. I can't sit still. Like, I'm always doing something. I got my hand involved in something at all times, and you got to get out. Like, you get stuck sitting at home, especially in the cold months of the darker months of the year, I guess we'll call it, where people just kind of usually maybe suffer a little bit more than whenever it's sunny and the sun's out till 9 p.m. This at least gives some, people something to look forward to on the weekends, and
Absolutely.
go have some beers with your buddies and watch some games and have some laughs and yell at the team. I don't what I mean? It's all part of it. So these small towns need it. Like, I grew up in Kensington, and growing up, I went to the Kensington Granite's games. That was the thing we did. I had an uncle, Greg, that played on the team. He worked as a plumber, you know what I mean? And he went out there and they'd pack the rink, and it was senior hockey and PEI. It was awesome. And then, you know, I think Hockey Canada put a lot more emphasis on junior A hockey and that in, you know, younger development, which they should. And senior hockey, I think, just kind of fell by the wayside a little bit over the last 20 years. You know, it's funny, I play in a rec, like I just play with old guys at noontime to get on the ice during the week. Not as much as I should be, but once or twice a week, maybe once the season picks up a bit more. And they're all 50, 60, you know, but all they do is talk about the glory days of the senior league back in the day. And I'm just like, I almost get jealous. I'm like, you know, I want these stories too when I'm 60. Yeah, I think there's no reason it can't kind of be brought back to the glory. And I think what you're doing is kind of, it's exactly what's needed. So modernize it a bit, right?
Yeah, no reason not to. Modernize it a bit, give it a little bit of promotion. I love, every time I do an interview, I'm always like, what do you do for a living? Because for years, you'd watch senior hockey, and if you didn't know the guy personally, you don't know anything about them. And I find it interesting that, you know, you got teachers and you've got corrections officers and real estate, a lot of real estate guys.
Yeah, well, that's me.
Yeah, if you're looking anywhere for real estate, to sell some real estate, look at your BSHL teams, because there's definitely somebody on every team.
I agree. Yeah, and that's again like something. I don't know. Getting back to like the Springhill team, it's we do have lots of plans, I guess, for the future. You know, I'm not want to get into too much today, but it's like we'll do probably a bit of a rebranding in the new year, and new jerseys and new colors, and kind of, you know, maybe bring back the yellow buckets for Springhill. We're not sure yet. We've been talking about that. I don't know if you knew that, but Cumberland Blues used to always have yellow helmets. Yeah. Just like you mentioned, like there's no reason we can't profile the players on our team, right? Like if you got, you know, Bobby Davis has his own contracting company. There's no reason we can't, you know, promote his business for him, help him while he helps us, 100%. Right? Stuff like that. I think it's a give and take in the community. So, yeah, we're super excited, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm fucking vibrating. I'm so excited. But you know, for me, it's something I take very, very serious, and I'm very passionate about it. And my wife wants to kill me because all I talk about is senior hockey. And she just rolls her eyes, and she even loves hockey herself. It's just like tired of listening to me, I think. But
she's got to get used to it now, right? I mean, you guys own the team.
Yeah, she's gonna have to. But yeah, man, that's the news in Springhill, and I guess I'll probably let you go. You probably got to go back to work half soon, but I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to let me come on and explain our situation. And I guess more or less want to let, you know, the league, but also Springhill fans in the community that might listen to the podcast, that we're not going anywhere, and we're going to be building a product that's built to last, and that people will be proud of in the community. So that's my main focus. So.
That's fantastic, man. I think it's great news for the league. It's phenomenal news for Springhill, that there's going to be some senior hockey in Springhill for a long time to come, and there's a lot to look forward to. Parker, my friend, appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot, Corey. I know I told you that I'm a rambling man, so I didn't let you speak too much, but I appreciate you having me on.
No, man, that's fine. I don't mind not talking. I appreciate listening to you. I think people are going to enjoy learning a little bit about you, and we'll have you back on a few more times. We'll have some fun. But you have a great day.
We'll do some promotion stuff with you here in the next little bit too, I'm sure. So
we'll work together. I appreciate that. All right, Parker. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks, Corey.